Hi, this is Jonathan Rosenhead, the Torah and Psychotherapist. This week's Torah and Psychology post in Parsha Vayeitze is titled, I Dreamed a Dream. In this week's Parsha, we read about the dream of Yaakov Avinu. To start off, I'd like to say, I hope that all of us have dreams. And I don't just mean the dreams of nighttime when we're sleeping, but rather dreams where we actually have goals and ambitions and wishes to achieve in our life and to improve our life. And we can take the dream of Yaakov Avinu and we can see a distinction between a nighttime dream, which when we're sleeping, which is usually it's unclear or illogical or has details which are unattainable or unrealistic, and actual dreams which we want to turn into reality, dreams where we have goals and ambitions. So there is already a body of work in psychology, a large body of work that looks at how to achieve goals, such as the type of goals that we set for ourselves, like SMART goals, which means specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, which will increase the likelihood of achieving our goals. It also looks at the idea of conflict in goals, motivation, determination, also setting sub-goals, and all these ideas. And the research helps a person to set goals and to achieve their goals that they set for themselves. And I think the dream of Yaakov Avinu can also help us, we can gain psychological insight into goal attainment. Because we know from the Psukim and the explanation of the Orach Chaim, it says that what Yaakov Avinu was having was not just a dream whilst he was sleeping, but it was an actual vision. The Orach Chaim says that each time, throughout the Psukim, when a new detail of the dream was revealed to Yaakov Avinu, when he saw something, it says Vehine, and behold. And this Vehine is giving over this idea that what Yaakov Avinu was seeing was an actual vision, clear details, clear, precise details and a vision, rather than just this unclear thing that we experience when we're sleeping. So we can ask, how do we turn our dreams and our ambitions when we set goals into reality? How do we achieve them? And I think the details of Yaakov Avinu's dream can give us this insight, because Rashi says that, and explains, Yaakov Avinu set stones around him to protect him whilst he was sleeping, and that these stones were arguing. They wanted that Yaakov Avinu, the tzaddik, would rest his head on them, on each stone. They wanted that Yaakov would lay his head to sleep on them, and they were arguing, and so eventually they joined together into one larger rock and larger stone that Yaakov slept on. And also we know that the dream itself was a ladder with malachim ascending and descending. And also we learn what Rashi tells us, that when Yaakov Avinu woke up, he realized that this was a holy place where he was sleeping, that it was the place where the Beis Hamikdash was going to be built. So let's look at these facts, these details of the dream, and see what it can teach us from a psychological perspective of goal attainment. So firstly, as we know what the Orach Chaim said, we're focusing on an actual dream, having a clear vision, having a clear focus on what we want to achieve, that it should be precise, that we should know what we are trying to achieve, and first of all, imagine in our mind, just using, it could be mindfulness techniques or guided imagery, have that clear vision in your mind of what you are trying to achieve. Put it into detail, at least on a cognitive level, on an imaginary level, so you can work towards turning it into reality. And as Rashi said, this detail of the rocks, of the stones, this could be the idea. It represents the idea of sub-goals. That in order to achieve a goal, sometimes the goal can be very big. So we have to break it down into bite-sized pieces, into sub-goals, into smaller milestones. And each stone that we see that Yaakov surrounded himself with could be seen as smaller individual milestones of achieving a goal, of having this vision. But as we know, sub-goals are all working towards and are all working in unity in order to work up towards this bigger goal. And this is this larger rock that Yaakov slept on. And Rashi also says, to look at the detail of the dream with the ladder and the malachim, when a person has a dream, it's taking them momentarily from their current place on earth, where they are, their current situation, and they're reaching for the sky. They have this lofty, higher goal, ambition, which is above them, which is not attainable at this very moment, but they need to work up towards it. How do you do that? You need a connection between your current place and where you're working up, this higher place that you're working up towards. So you need a ladder. This is the dream of Yaakov Avinu, this ladder where if you want to achieve your vision, your goals, you need to work rung by rung, going up gradually, slowly, as a gradual process, each step at a time, going up higher and higher. But as we work along this process, we have to appreciate that sometimes we fail, sometimes we fall, and we have to get back up again. This is the malachim, this movement of ascending and descending, understanding and appreciating this process of going up, falling down again, and getting up again as we gradually work up this ladder towards our vision, towards our goal. And also this was a holy place, as we said. When he woke up, he realized that he was sleeping in the place where the Beis Hamikdash was going to be built. And he realized that this was a makom kadosh. And I think that this idea of achieving our goals in a way is an experience of kedusha. I don't necessarily mean kedusha in terms of holiness, although a person can get that sense of self-fulfillment and gratitude that it could be a holy experience, but also the idea of kadosh as being mukdash, something which is designated, set aside, because when we achieve our goals, it's because we recognize and we are able to identify what our individual skills and ambitions and why we are and how we can aspire towards something to improve our life based on our individual needs and personality. And it's a experience of kedusha, something which is set aside and designated, where we connect with ourselves and our goals. But also, the Sforno explains that when Yaakov woke up and realized that it was a holy place, he was worried. He feared that he'd made a mistake and perhaps he would be punished because of it. He'd slept in a holy place and which was conducive for Nevuah, and he hadn't prepared himself for this. And we can learn out from this explanation of the Sforno that when we have a goal and a vision and we want to work towards it, it requires planning and preparation. This was the idea that Yaakov Avinu through the Sforno was saying that he hadn't prepared, he hadn't planned. So we need to set aside time to first stop and think, what are our goals? How do we want to achieve it? And to really plan it out in order to have a stage of preparation before we start this process of working towards our goal. And hopefully through these ideas, we will achieve our goals and achieve the dreams that we set for ourselves. Have a great Shabbos and keep well.